Have you ever wondered why the mythology of Middle-earth seems to grow dimmer over time? I'm not talking about it getting less exciting. I'm talking about light itself. In the beginning, the world is bathed in radiant splendor, but by the time we reach the familiar age of men, that glow has faded, and what's left is more memory than miracle. So what happened to all that divine brilliance? Today we're pulling a thread that runs all the way from the dawn of the world to the closing chapters of The Lord of the Ring. A cosmic pattern woven into Arda's very fabric, the cycle of light. Specifically, why does Tolkien start with two colossal lamps that shine over the whole world, only to replace them with two trees that light only Valinor, and then finally with the sun and moon, distant, wandering, imperfect? If we look closely, a pattern starts to emerge. Light becomes more limited, more withdrawn, more scattered. And what if that wasn't just an accident of myth-making or a leftover from Tolkien's early drafts? What if it's deliberately designed, a symbol of the world falling away from its divine beginning? Let's take a closer look at this celestial succession and try to answer a deceptively big question. Why does light itself seem to lose something as Tolkien's world grows older? Let's start at the very beginning, literally. In the Silmarillion's Ainu Lindala and Of the Beginning of Days, from the very moment the Valar descend into Arda, they seek to shape it according to the vision of Eru Ilúvatar, one of their first great creations. The two lamps, Iluin and Ormal, towering structures set on opposite ends of the world, Iluin in the north, Ormal in the south, their light merged and filled the entire world. It's hard to overstate how all-encompassing this light was. Unlike the trees or the later celestial bodies, the lamps did not just illuminate, they harmonized. They weren't restricted by borders or time zones. The entire world shared equally in their glow. But of course, we know what comes next. Melkor, already acting out of envy and malice, destroys the lamps. And what's interesting is how he does it, not through frontal assault, but by undermining their foundations so the great towers collapse. The result is physical chaos, continents shift, seas boil, and most importantly, light is lost. Arda is broken and that original generous light is gone. So what do the Valar do? They retreat. They withdraw from Middle-earth and go west to Aman. There, they create a new form of light, two trees that shine in turns, Telperion, the silver tree, and Laurelin, the golden. Each gives light for 12 hours, cycling day and night within Valinor. The key word there is Valinor, because outside of Valinor, this isn't just a geographical note. This is where the theological symbolism kicks in. Unlike the inclusive light of the lamps, which embraced all lands equally, the trees hoard their light. They're beautiful, more intricate perhaps than the lamps, but they are shut away in the west. Middle-earth gets nothing but dusk and starlight. And this is the turning point. It's the beginning of a pattern. Light gets more sacred perhaps, but it also becomes more exclusive. The world becomes more fractured. The final blow comes later, of course, when Melkor, now Morgoth, and Ungoliant destroy the trees. In a desperate attempt to salvage something of their radiance, the Valar capture the final flower of Laurelin and the last fruit of Telperion and send them into the heavens as the sun and the moon. But even these are only echoes of what once was. Consider this description from Of the Sun and Moon. It's a fascinating detail. Tolkien doesn't present the moon as a majestic final act, but as erratic, a little unstable. The moon literally wanders. And while the sun is bright, we're told elsewhere that the elves found its light harsh, a far cry from the gentle glow of Telperion. So if we step back and look at this whole trajectory, we go from universal, balanced light in the form of the two lamps to sacred, cyclical light restricted to a chosen land, and finally to distant, derivative light sent to a world already in decline. What's the thread tying it all together? Decline, or more precisely, distance. Each phase of light in Tolkien's world reflects a retreat, away from unity, away from wholeness, away from divine presence. The light retreats into sanctity. into relics, guarded places, fading echoes. If the lamps are Eden, a created world suffused with order and grace, then Valinor is a kind of enclosed garden, beautiful, but cut off. And the sun and moon, they are the stars outside the garden's gate, nightlights for a broken world. Now, some of you might be thinking, hold on, weren't the trees better than the lamps? They're certainly described in more poetic detail. There's that beautiful image of the mingling light when both trees glowed at once. Doesn't that suggest a richer phase of divine light? Absolutely. The trees are extraordinary. Their cyclical rhythm even gives us Tolkien's first notion of measured time. But beauty, in Tolkien's world, isn't always a sign of health, and it certainly isn't a sign of wholeness. Let's not forget the Silmarils were painfully beautiful too, and they brought more ruin than almost anything else. The trees are not a new peak. They're a preservation of something already lost. They're the Valar's best attempt to hold on to a kind of sanctity, and that tells us something vital about how Tolkien saw his world, not as a march forward, but as a long, mournful decline. This may help explain some of the elves' obsession with light, especially Feanor's. He doesn't just want to possess beauty. It's possible he's trying in his own way to cling to it, to bottle up the last remaining essence of a fading divine flame. When he captures the tree's light in the Silmarils, it's not just crafting, it's salvaging. Now, to be fair, some readers argue this progression is just the result of revisions Tolkien made over the years, as he moved from a mythic flat Earth model to a more realistic, round world. That's certainly part of it. He was forever tinkering, but even in the round world vision, Tolkien keeps the symbolism. The lamps may disappear in the background, but the trees remain central. Their light still holds cosmic weight. The progression is artistically consistent, even if the cosmology changed. And that consistency suggests this wasn't just a question of lighting design, so to speak. It was part of the Fall, a theological storytelling method hidden in plain sight. So let's bring it all together. The story of light in Tolkien's world isn't just a sequence of cool magical upgrades or downgrades. It's the echo of a fall from grace, a subtle movement away from shared divinity toward isolation and longing. From the open radiance of the two lamps, to the sacred but secluded trees, to the cold, wandering lights of the moon and sun, light retreats. And in its retreat, we get a world that yearns, a world of memory, myth, and faded glory. This pattern stretches all the way through the ages. And when Frodo sees the phial of Galadriel glow in the darkness of Shelob's lair, he's not just wielding a flashlight, he's holding the faintest glimmer of a light so old and holy, it once illuminated an unbroken world. Thanks for joining me here at Third Age Ideas on this exploration of Middle-earth's deepest mysteries. If you enjoyed this theory, hit that like button and subscribe for more journeys through Tolkien's legendarium. What's your take on the cycle of light? Do you think this theory holds weight, or is the light's progression just poetic evolution? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every one, and your insights might light the way for future videos. Until next time, may your journey through Middle-earth be filled with wonder and discovery. See you in the next video.